Hey, you ever been to Chancellor Park? That's where I live. My name is Tabin Dillard, and I live in a trailer park called Chancellor Park, and I mow lawns. I'd like to introduce you to my town. I've been making YouTube videos since about 2006, and then I've transitioned over to other platforms like the TikToks and the whatnot. But here on this podcast, I'd like to clue you into what's going on with me here lately. And this is like the pre-introduction. Now I'm going to send it off to myself for the real introduction. I'm glad you joined me. Bink, bink.
Welcome to the Tabin Dillard Podcast, y'all guys. Season 3's, Episode 3's. My name is Tabin Dillard. I'm on lawns and live in Chancellor Park, and this here is a podcast. The rumors are true. This is something that you listen to with your ears because that's what ears do, and that's what podcast is for. They ain't no pictures. Now, some folks do record, them talking for the podcast. I don't. In fact, I did once. I did one video. It might have been season 1 back in the fall. I was at the burger shed. I recorded there. It's fine, but I don't know. I just ain't done it again yet. I got a little sip of juice right here. It's orange juice. I guess I'm making it sound fancier than it is. I tell you, I got to wet the whistle. It's been a long day. It's been a hot day. You know what? I didn't have this story planned at the beginning of the day to tell in this podcast because today we setting up a lot. There's a lot coming up in town, and I'll get into it in a second. But I mean, a quick preview. City pool going to open here not too long. Spring picnic coming up. There's a ribbon cutting, and that's first. I kind of did it backwards. It's ribbon cutting, spring picnic, and city pool. But before that, somebody ordered this week. I do personal greetings. I don't know that I ever talked about that on the podcast, but you know where people say, "Hey, can you tell my aunt Matilda happy birthday?" And then I shoot a video, like 30, 45 seconds long, doing that, and then anyways, I sell them. Well, last Mother's Day, so it ain't quite been it's getting close to it. Been a year. I did poems. Y'all might know that I do a little poetry on the interweb, on the TikToks and other places where I do these poems. Well, last Mother's Day, the news outlet, like some TV show, picked up my poems. And so they said, Tabin Dillard does these personal greetings, which was true. And then they said, and he does these personal poems, which was not true. But once it's out there on a TV set, you got to figure something out. So I went to the Tabin Dillard website. Boop, 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 beep, 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 beep. That's me like typing in, web site numbers, and then saying, oh, here, and now you can buy a personal poem. It's like the greeting is one price because it's just, you just talking. It's easy. The poems are more price because the thing about it is folks now wanted to buy them, started buying them, and it's like, okay, give me the information about, your Aunt Matilda, and then I got to take all that and then make it all rhyme, and then I memorize that, and that's memorizing to when you ain't reading it, like you looking at the camera and you just saying, dear Aunt Matilda, you're so nice. Everyone likes it when you cook brown rice, or whatever it is. I don't know. So I got to know that thing, and that was a year ago, Mother's Day. I just say that because somebody reached out this week about a poem. And it's not like I'm selling them every day of the week or nothing, but every now and then they come in, and I got some poetry to write here coming pretty soon. But I'm just thinking out loud here today, y'all, and some of y'all may know the answer to this. How did people come up with ribbon cuttings? You know what I'm talking about? You know about ribbon cuttings. You've been around new businesses, but it's not always a new business. In the case of my town, it's a remodel of an existing business, and they're having a ribbon cutting for that. So that's how that's going. The way I figure it in my head is when you get a birthday present, you wrap it and you tie it with a ribbon. Well, some folks do. Mostly these days, folks, they put some tissue paper in a bag and shove that present down in there like that away. But I'm thinking like the ribbon is saying like, hey, let's open up this gift, let's open up this new place. Cut the ribbon with them big old scissors and do the thing. But you can't wrap like a new ice cream shop. Or in the case of my town, you can't wrap up Early Bird Gets the Perm, which is the hair shop where Meemaw gets her hair did. It's getting a facelift. Let's get some work done on it. They repainting it. It's going to be like green. In fact, they talking about shirts. And I mentioned this on the TikToks here recently. Like, hey, what do you think about this being a shirt? Because one thing I learned is that it don't make no sense to offer something to my friends here on the interweb that they ain't asking for. And so the No Pro fishing shirt is moving off the shelves, as they say. Folks was asking for it. I said, okay, here you go. And they said, yep, that's right. I want that shirt. And they bought it. And we about to do tank tops because folks been asking for that too. But the Early Bird Gets the Perm shirt, that's kind of one of them where you like you playing double dutch jump rope and you trying to jump. You think about if you're going to jump in or not to the Early Bird Gets the Perm t-shirt world. And I don't know. We got like what they call like a prototype. Like I could, if you text me this week and say, hey, let me see what that drawing looks like for the Early Bird Gets the Perm, like we got it printed up on a shirt in a picture so that you could see what it would look like if it did exist as a shirt, but it only exists as a picture right now because I don't know who want it, but I do know that a lot of folks want Early Bird Get the Perm to stay open even during the facelift remodel, which they doing, and Meemaw happy about that. She don't want it being shut down even for a minute, you know. So that's what they doing is they reworking it all. They got this new logo that I drawed, and you know they like that, and all that stuff's going on. But they got to keep it open, and then they're going to do this ribbon cutting here, I don't know, next week or so. So there's all this hubbub around town, and I'll get into that, how that went this week. But like I say, with my stuff, you can always check out tabandillard.com for any of my merch, like these new shirts with the No Pro fishing on them or whatever. My gal Cricket wants to get Early Bird Gets a Perm shirt, which I thought was funny because firstly, it don't exist. The drawing does, but that's it. And secondly, she don't even like that place as far as she don't get her hair did there, but she want to support my Meemaw. And I'm like, well, I'd wear one of them shirts too because I want to support my Meemaw. She loved that place. You know, Meemaw loved that place. She loved it so bad. Speaking of the .com world, though, the interweb world, the worldwide interweb coms, did you know if you go to the link in my show notes that you'll see Tavin's Honey from Bees, and that's going to be at the top of the list. Then you'll see other things under there like, you know, how to text me, how to email me, and then how to check out my shirts and all that kind of thing. But Tavin's Honey from Bees, it's my honey. It's delightful sweet nectar that is strained and bottled and sent to you. And they put a lid on it so it don't spill in the mailbox. And the honey, well, is from bees. Thanks to beehouse.com for teaming up this spring season. They knocking it out of the park with that honey. Now, about this ribbon cutting. It ain't just like, boop, I cut the ribbon. You're welcome, everybody. No, you got to really like make a show of it. And they looking at having some entertainment there, too. And more on that in a little bit, but I need to back up here. Speaking of Cricket, you know, she helps her dad on a family farm, does a bunch of other stuff from working at the nursing home, you know, to help him with the softball field concession stands last season, but she's going to start delivering produce again in town. Now, she don't live in my town. Y'all might know that. She don't live in my county. So we don't even see each other as much as we want, and I'm saving for a truck. Y'all know about that because my bike ain't cutting it. And speaking of cutting it, it's going to be nice to have a truck to put my lawnmower in. Right now, I tie that rope to the seat of my bike and tote that thing like that away through town. So to say I got my eye on an upgrade is an understatement. I stated underly or something. I don't know how that works. I ain't an English teacher, but you know what I'm talking about. But what that means is I may be helping Cricket with some of them deliveries if I got a truck that could deliver. I mean, she don't want my help if I'm on a bike because that'll take it like 10 times as long. She'll be like, Tavin, I could have done that, you know, faster, you know, in my car. But if she got a car and then I got a truck, then I could help her, you know, like double up, you know, or cut the time in half for the deliveries because there's two of us doing it. I know the town like the back of my hand. Y'all know that? I mean, I lived here my whole life. Bud's Burger Shed is one of her main deliveries. I'm there 3 times a week anyway, if not more. Folks are out and about right now, and it's time to start thinking about that city pool. You know, when I'm thinking about driving around, I ride my bike by it now, and they about to cut the ribbon on that. They don't really cut the ribbon. They got a padlock on it, you know, during the winter. They don't want folks sneaking in. I think it's drained right now. I don't think the water back in it yet. But between getting excited about trying to get a truck, riding my bike everywhere I go still in the meantime, and seeing that city pool like it teasing me right now because weather's heating up a little bit. I'm about to get more tank tops on because I need my shoulders to see the sun. And then also I need to get in that pool. You know, Cannonball Champ, you don't become a Cannonball Champ at the city pool by just sitting around and you know, meandering in and out of the swimming season. I mean, you got to be there first day and you got to be there till the last day. And that's right around the corner. So, you know who the head lifeguard is down at the city pool? Well, it's the busiest man I know next to Bud at the burger shed. That's Coach Hicks. That's right. He was my PE teacher in high school, and he ran to Long John Silver, so he's steady pulling in that money, with them 2 jobs. Had a double cab truck back then with air conditioner at work, and he still drive a double cab today. I mean, it's a newer one, not the one he had in high school, but he don't manage that Long John Silver's no more. He'll go back and check on it, but he ain't employed there no more. He's a lifeguard at the city pool. I used to think that the city pool lifeguard was a volunteer job. I should have known better what they got to go through. You'd think they wouldn't do that for free. It's a paid job. He get paid to blow that whistle, tell them kids to stop running, teach Meemaws the water aerobics class, all that. So he earning that money, especially when he got to deal with gals like my Meemaw and Mabel Childers. That's Brody Childers' grandma, and that lady's a mess. She 90 years old. And she ornery, and she into something all the time. Mabel Childers. Coach Hicks also running a boxing gym in town. He ain't there all day, every day. He don't need to be. He the owner. He hired people to kind of keep an eye on things. I don't see how he could be there with everything else he got going on. But he's there quite a bit. He's hired some folks to run his classes. He got them classes in there. You know about classes? Like you teach folks how to do, like they sign up, they pay, and they say, teach me how to do this thing. And I guess at the boxing gym, it's got to have to do with that kind of thing. But he does some kicking too. So I know in a boxing match, like if you kick somebody in a boxing ring, you in trouble. They blow the whistle on you. I don't know. They might disqualify you. I don't know the rules. But then there is kickboxing, and it's got that in the title. So for kickboxing, there ain't no surprises, because if you in a boxing ring for a kickboxing match, you need to expect to get kicked. That's part of it. You go to somebody a burger place, and don't be mad that they ain't got quesadillas or whatever. They didn't put that on the sign, kind of thing. But he got boxing gym, but then he do these classes where I think one's like regular size boxing, where you learn to dance around and duck and wave in the ring, and then he got the kickboxing where you box, but you also you can do a little kick every now and then too, and then maybe just some regular exercise or strength classes. I don't know exactly what all goes down there. I had a coupon to go there once, and about 45 seconds into my free trial, Mort Dwydell landed a stubby little legged roundhouse kick to my upper thigh, gave me a deep bone bruise. I was not myself that the whole next week. I can mow a lawn okay with a limp, but you asked me to play adult softball league, that was tough. I couldn't finish the game very well. Coach hadn't blowed no whistle neither when I got in that boxing ring with Mort Dwydell that day on that practice. Like we had that coupon, I got in that ring, and he didn't do the, tweet, time to get started. So, I ain't ready. I'm just casual like. Now I know better now. It's game on. You step in that ring, it's game on. But the way I understood it is, hey, we in here training. We learning from Coach. We going to wait for Coach to say something, Coach to do something, Coach to tell us to go before we start. We don't know what we're doing. We're there to get trained. We're there to take a little course with him. But not Mort Dwydell. He didn't wait for nothing. I step in there. He step in there. And he just hauled off like he is in a made-for-TV karate movie or something. Just boom, right to my upper thigh. And that's pretty high because Mort's got stubby little legs. He got a long torso, but he ain't that tall. And boy, he fired it up there though. He got legs like tree trunks. But I know a lot of folks have been down there learning. A lot of them high school athletes, they see it as a little workout place. Coach Hicks' gym, he's got to put a name on it. He said he's going to announce a name soon. So, when I get that information, I'll be passing that along to y'all guys for sure. He got some weight down there too. So, they do that arm strength, where you got your biceps, them the arm muscles up top, them biceps, and then they got the triceps, the interceps, the forceps, and then your legs, the quadriceps, and the hind straps, and all them things. And so them weights, the way them kids, they lift them and they get strengthened, that's for their strength. But that ain't his focus right now. He's got his eyes on the city pool. So, he got his gym, the boxing gym, but, it's go time. It's go time at the pool. And this week he was looking at how to get more life jackets at the pool, for safety. Because life jackets is safe. And some of them little kiddos get down there and they can't swim, and their mama thinks, well, we'll just put them in the shallow end. Well, lady, your kid's 2 feet tall and that shallow end's 3 feet tall. You do the math kind of thing. So anyways, Coach Hicks want to make sure, at least if folks want to wear a safety jacket, they got some down there. And where do you go when you need a good deal? Jerry Don and Sybil's Flea Market. That's Rance Farnhart's mom and daddy, Jerry Don and Sybil Farnhart. Do you need D batteries? A Branson coffee mug that has a dog with a cowboy hat that reads, I treat a good time in Branson, or maybe 3 washcloths tied with a ribbon? Sybil will do that. half a can of motor oil for 2-stroke engine, wheelbarrow handles. I mean, they got what you need. Well, Coach is looking for them life jackets down at Jerry Don and Sybil's Flea Market, and sure enough, he finds them. Now, I don't know how your flea markets or local thrift store is organized, but there ain't no rhyme or reason to most. That's the way I see it. Like if Jerry Don and Sybil get a box of the same item, well, yeah, then all them, they gonna be together on the shelf. But if they get one here and then one come in a day or two or a week or 3 later, or a month later, well, they gonna end up on shelves for different reasons. And what them reasons are, I do not know. That's the mystery of the flea market. That's the mystery of the thrift store. That's the joy of the hunt for some people. Oh, look at here. I found this little sponge over here. I like these sponge for my kitchen counter. I'm going to go search on the other side of the store on the bottom of a shelf to see if they got another. You know, some people like to do that kind of thing and just hope that there's more of one in that store somewhere, even though it ain't together. And truth be told, a lot of time that's the case. That's just how it is. Maybe they wanted to color coordinate that shelf. Maybe it wasn't about the items at all, but it's about the color. Like, oh, let's put the blue hat with the blue pillow and the blue coffee mug and the blue life jacket, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. The rhyme or reason is that there ain't no rhyme or reason. So Coach Hicks is in there next to the floor jacks, and what does he see? 7 life jackets all together. Just a group of little happy life jackets. I say little, there's assorted sizes and colors, so he scoop them up and he buy them for the city poo. Well, he don't test them, and why would he? Or better yet, how could he? They ain't got like a test pool at Jerry Don and Sybil's Barnhart Flea Market, and if they did have a poo there, folks would think it's for sale, and probably wouldn't last long. I mean, a lot of folks like to cool off in them above ground poos or them kiddie poos. I mean, all that kind of thing. So he ain't got time for that, you know, to test that right there. So you kind of know you getting what you pay for on something like this. And on occasion, Jerry Don and Sybil do take stuff back. Like that time I thought it was a good idea to get my Meemaw exercise bike. She did not approve. Lesson learned. You know, if Meemaw ain't asking for it, do not get it. Well, while Coach Hicks is buying them life jackets, Cheryl Grubbs enters that flea market looking for batons. Or at least one. You know them twirly things that they do in them parades and cheerleaders there or whatever? Turns out they're going to have a performance at the ribbon cutting for Early Bird Gets the Perm from a junior cheer team that Cheryl is coaching. So while Cheryl is looking around for junior cheer gear, Coach Hicks heads to the poo to drop off them life jackets. Well, he gets down there and Misty Fizdale's there. She's one of them teenage lifeguards and she's cleaning up down there. Ain't nobody at the pool yet other than employees. And so Coach Hicks decides to have Misty test out these new life jackets. Well, it turns out that pool got full of water. Because I'm thinking in my head when I heard about this, I'm like, you're going to have Misty stand in an empty city pool with a life jacket on to see if it worked? You could have put that thing on at Jerry Don and Sybil's flea market and tested it if that's what you thought tested a life jacket. But Coach Hicks is smarter than that. He got water in that poo, and the way he do this, he do this test is he have her put one on, and she's supposed to just drop in the pool like she dead weight. Well, she do her job well. Misty, she ain't able to stay above water because well the life jacket don't work. But she followed directions so good, and she's just staying down there in the water holding her breath. Who knows how long she's going to do that for, but Coach Hicks reached down there and kind of tapped her on the shoulder like, get up, that's all I need to know, that jacket don't work. And she had to do that 6 more times. So that's how that went. Imagine, if you will, Coach Hicks. I don't know if I have described him in a while. He doesn't like to wear shorts that are too long, you know, the athletic shorts, but he wear cowboy boots. And he have coffee grounds in the cowboy boots because somebody told him that absorbs odors because he don't wear socks with them cowboy boots. So if he pull off a cowboy boot, he liable to drag a bunch of coffee grounds with him. And then he got on just like a regular size t-shirt. A lot of times it's a white, like a v-neck. And he in pretty good shape. He's like in his 60s, I guess. Whistle almost always around his neck. Sunglasses on, sometimes a hat, sometimes a headband. This day it was a hat. Anyways, she tests all them. And you think about this, a life jacket just has one job, right? It's to help folks float. That's your job. Don't let them sink, life jacket. And I guess it's got to stay on you too, so maybe that's 2 jobs. You know, you gotta strap it in there kind of thing so it's snug around you and you buttoned up or whatever. So in the end, 2 of them life jackets was working and them others was not. Now, I don't know if Coach Hicks returned them. I'd like to think that once Jerry, Don, and Sybil know that they was broke, they wouldn't try and sell them again anyhow. I guess maybe you figure out what to do. Maybe if you want to, them crafty people could kind of cut them apart and then sew them together to make a little poolside mattress, or maybe what do they call them things? Those pool floats that you lay on. What are they called? I don't know. Y'all know. If y'all know what I'm talking about, it looks like it's a little blow up. I guess a pool mattress. Is that what they call them? I don't know. I ain't never owned one myself. I'm usually doing the cannonballs, and you can't cannonball with one of them wrapped around you. Maybe Coach Hicks will put together a synchronized swimming routine for Early Bird Gets the Perm grand opening and reopening or whatever, the ribbon cutting, except there ain't no poo down there, so I guess it could be out of the water routine. But maybe that's what Cheryl Grubbs is already doing now that I think about it, with that baton and that junior cheer team down there. The other thing, though, that I mentioned at the very beginning that's coming up, I ain't got nothing to report on it today except that I just put it on your calendar. Have it on your radar because the spring picnic's coming out. It's a hoot. Cricket wants to go with me, which is fine. I usually go anyway. It's not like this is something new for me to go to. And they're having a turkey salmon calling contest this year. That's right. We'll have people that are going to be calling the turkey salmon. It ain't just the call. I mean, it's the performance. It ain't just what you hear. It's what you see, that draws them turkey salmon in. You got to be swimming upstream, like a turkey salmon would. Like they do. So that's going to be at the spring picnic. That's one of many things that's going to be happening at the spring picnic. The other thing is Early Bird Gets the Perm, ribbon cutting. And it ain't going to be too long until after that is going to be the spring picnic and then the city pool. So that's the order of events if you mark in your calendar. Early Bird Gets the Perm, ribbon cutting, and Cheryl Grubbs has a junior cheer team that's going to be there. I know that much right now. There's going to be a ribbon and there's going to be giant scissors. And it should be done, like painted and everything. As far as I know, that's what I know is happening soon. And then, like I said, the spring picnic, then the city pool open up. So they got water in it after all. So maybe it's going to be sooner than later. It's hot enough in some days lately. So yeah, there's a lot going on. But, that is what it is. What I want you to do is text me if you want to see that Early Bird Gets the Perm shirt, because, again, I don't even know if it need to be a shirt. I'm trying to get feedback if people want to know, want it. And I can show it to you. You just text me, and I can shoot you that picture, because I ain't, posted it all over the world or nothing yet, because it don't exist. It's just me pondering, do this need to happen? And we'll see what, the owners kind of like it, but if you ain't never done a shirt, Early Bird Gets the Perm, that's Gracie Dilroy, that's Chet Dilroy's wife, and his sister-in-law, Delandra, that's Gracie's sister. They running the Early Bird Gets the Perm, and they ain't never had T-shirts down there. So all of this is like, why they need a T-shirt? And it's like, well, so people can see your new logo and think about Early Bird Gets a Perm. When they at the Walmarts, when they over at Maggie's Flowers, when they going through Bud's Burger Shed, down at the Sonic, all them kind of things, at the softball fields, there's all that kind of thing. So anyways, you can text me if you want to. And while you in that show notes, take a minute, y'all guys, to check out Tavin's Honey from Bees. It's waiting on you. Let me know what you think. And if you need a life jacket, maybe buy that thing new and head to Jerry, Don, and Sybil's for everything else. I want to thank y'all for tuning in this week. There's a lot going on. Please stay in touch. This has been the Tavin Dillard Podcast, and I'm going to get out of here for now, but please stay in touch, and you know what? We'll see you later.